Hello, Matthew Harffy here, and there's Blue. And well, at the moment, it's the day before Good Friday. What's that, Maundy Thursday? Is that what it's called? But yeah, it's just at the beginning of April, and it's lunchtime at the moment. It's a lovely sunny spring day. And by the time that I put this out on YouTube and wherever else it ends up, I should have finished the very first very rough draft of my new novel, which is up to 115,000 words. Yesterday, I kind of just threw down the words for the sort of final chapter epilogue, and I had an idea that maybe there needs to be a prologue too, which I wasn't sure about until very recently. So I threw some of that down there, very, very rough, sort of what we call a vomit draft, just like vomiting out the words onto the page, but you know what I mean. And I've edited the epilogue this morning. I sort of polished it up and added a few hundred words, and I'm going to do the same now with the prologue. So by the end of the day, I should be finished this very first draft. And it's obviously there's still a lot of work to be done at this stage of a novel. I mean, some novelists maybe at this point, some writers are the book's almost done, I don't know, but in my case, in my experience, I know I need to go back and fill in lots of historical detail and little gaps and things. And also, as this is the first book in a new setting with new characters, and perhaps it's the first of a series, or perhaps it's a standalone. That's obviously the story is, it has a beginning, a middle, and an end, but you never know if it's going to be the first of a series, I guess, if it's very popular. But as it's the beginning for me of this in this new world, it's there's a lot of world building that's needed for me and for the audience, and for me, for the readers, but for me to really understand. And also the novel has kind of organically changed and shifted as I've written, even though I had a plan for it. Lots of the themes and ideas have really sort of only come out as I got to the sort of the second half, or even the last quarter of the novel. So after Easter, I'm going to go back and I'm going to read through it and fill in all of these gaps where I've sort of made a note to myself that I need to look for historical detail or things like that. But then also I think these sort of other areas where I need to work out whether there needs to be things added to make the story at the end sort of come together better at a conclusion. So there's a lot of work there, but I'm feeling good because at this stage, really, it's for me, it's my favourite part of the writing process. Many people say, oh, it's when you finally get the book in your hands and it's printed and it's in the hands of readers, and that is great, obviously. And I guess that is the real goal of the whole thing, is to get the book into other people's hands and get readers to actually read it and get reviews. And incidentally, today I had the very first review of Bane of Bernicia, book number 11 of the Bernicia Chronicles, which is out in June, at the beginning of June. So, and it was a 5-star review, so that's fantastic. And there's that's a whole nother feeling, and it is always a worry that people aren't going to like it, but it's great when they do, so that's fantastic. I'm really pleased about that as well. But for me, the moment when I finish that first rough draft and I think, okay, whatever happens now, however much work there's left to do, I have a book. And I think that for me is a real moment of that I can take a breath and relax and know that I can deliver something now. And I think there's always a fear for me until I get to this stage that somehow the book's not going to be completed, and I've got a contract to deliver this thing. And so there's always that sort of strange worry, even though this is I don't know what it is now, the 17th novel or something. And so it's it's a great feeling. And obviously there's all these other phases now, and I'm going to sort of clean up this draft, then I'll read through it, and then I'll do sort of another pass of structural edits, and then it goes to the editor and they'll do a pass of edits, and then copy editor and beta readers will read it, and so there's lots more work. But yeah, I feel good, and it's a perfect moment to set it aside at the end of today when I've finished this prologue, and then have a few days off over Easter, pick it up again next week, and in a couple of weeks I've got a week's holiday as well, so looking forward to that. And yeah, feeling good. Spring is here, first draft of this new book is done. Maybe we'll even have a title for it in the next few weeks, hopefully. Well, I hope you're having a great time wherever you are, and that you're able to read lots and enjoy life, and whoever you're spending your time with. And if you've got some time off over Easter, then hope you're able to read a nice book and make the most of everything. Enjoy, have a great time, happy reading. Speak to you soon.